Okay, so let's just start our 7th session of marketing, and we're going to talk about branding and how to create a brand on this session. So welcome everyone. Let's just start the slides. So in this chapter, we're going to talk about what is brand and how does branding work, basically. What is brand equity and how is brand equity built, measured, and managed, and what are the important decisions in developing a brand strategy. So nowadays we are in an era of marketing that we hear a lot about branding and what is actually branding and what do we exactly mean by branding. So it's a very common topic nowadays, and it's very important in marketing, and how we are going to go about our marketing deals a lot with branding. So let's hear more about branding and what it really means. Okay. So what is brand, basically? Brand is a name, term, sign, symbol, or design, or a combination of them, intended to identify the goods or services of one seller or group of sellers and to differentiate them from those of competitors. So it's like a name, basically. When somebody is born, they name the person a certain name, and the way that person lives his or her life is basically how they define that name. So when somebody says that person's name, out of all the things that they have done, their name gets meaning, and that sort of differentiates that person from the other person. So when you call that person's name, just that name in itself has a lot of values in it. So the same concept goes to branding. When you call a name, when you create a name for a corporation or a company, that name, whatever you do, whatever values you create for the customers, whatever advantages you have, they all will be summarized into your name, and that name would be the definition of whatever you have done through the years. So good examples are like McDonald's. When you hear the name McDonald's, you just see that symbol of M in yellow. You know it's McDonald's, the sign and everything, the yellow and red color. So all these, they have different meanings. There would be a difference between company name and the brand, because sometimes companies have bigger names, and the brand name is just the abbreviated, or mostly it's the same, but over the years they might change. So you see a lot of companies, they promote several brands, like Louis Vuitton has different product lines, so they might call their products differently. So sometimes company name is different from the brand name, but mostly it's the same. And if there is a difference, it will be changed over the years. So basically, how you differentiate yourself from other companies. So what are the attributes of a strong brand? It excels at delivering desired benefits. You're the brand. We talked about benefits, and we said that how features of a product describe the product and how benefits sell the product. So it should be, a good brand should help you to sell the product and delivers the benefit to the customers. It should be relevant, that the brand should be relevant to the product. Shouldn't be an irrelevant name or something. Then it should be priced to meet perceptions of the value. So again, the value is there. It should be delivering the value that the customers are looking for. It should be positioned properly. It should be positioned in the market at the place that it's right to be positioned there, and it also should communicate consistent brand messages. So the messages should consistently come across and reach the customers. Then it should be well designed. Then it should use multiple marketing activities. Different set of marketing activities could be used when When it deals with branding, like the media, newspaper, magazine, you name it, you can use it. Understands consumer brand relationships. So there should be an understanding of the relationship between the customer and the, the brand. So then it should be supported by organizations. So as we discussed, the organization which is creating that brand should support the idea of that brand and monitor sources of brand equity. So it should be monitoring the sources of that brand equity. So let's go to the next slide. So what are the roles that a brand plays? It identifies the maker. As I said, it's just a name. It's like a name. It identifies who is the maker of that brand, and it simplifies product handling. So when you call one of your product a brand name, that sort of simplifies the product line. So we have a lot of different brands, so there is not a written, saying or rule for number of brands that you have. To answer your question, like let's say Microsoft has so many different, products that they brand them differently. I mean, they all have that Microsoft logo on them. But let's say they have Xbox, which is a game product. They call it Xbox. They have their different softwares, like, I don't know, Internet Explorer or, Microsoft Word, which is inclusive of Excel, like PowerPoint, all those different programs. So they're all different brands of Microsoft. So there is not necessarily a limitation, but then again, you need to understand, if you're a new company, you don't want to confuse your consumers or customers with so many different brand names, and then you wouldn't be able to be successful. First of all, you need to make a certain brand known to everyone, and then you could start adding other brand names. So it really helps to go step at a time. I see a hand raised, Mr. Rafa. So let me see. Okay, Mr. Rafa, what is your question? Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Puran. I'm sorry if I interrupt your lecture.
Oh, no problem.
I'm a bit confused now between the brands and trademarks. We know products by their brand or their trademark. I just wanted to know the difference between these two things.
Okay, very good question. The trademark is more of an official version of the brand. So a brand is basically more general, and it entails a lot of image issues and symbols and all those factors that I covered here on this slide, as you can see. But for trademark is more of a general. I mean, it's like more of a registered version of it. So by trademark, we are basically talking of a distinctive sign or indicator used by an individual. So other than legal entity to identify that the products or services consumers with which the trademark appears, it sort of shows the unique source. So it's just a simple mark they use. Let's say the Microsoft uses the R, that symbol that they use is their trademark. It's just like a tagline. It's different from their brand. So every certain product, they have, every single company, they have their brand, and for that they have a small sign or trademark that goes like, as I said, like an R in a circle, so that could be a trademark. So that's basically the difference that we have. okay? And basically, specifically in U.S., they call it service mark. Okay, very good. Good question. So we talked about this. Yeah, roles of brands. Okay, what are the roles of brands? They identify the maker, as I said, simplify the product, organize accounting. So in accounting terms, it helps you to be organized because you're dealing with different type of brand. You know how to account and do your balance sheet regarding that certain brand, and then gives you legal protection, like for copying and copyright. When you have a certain brand, it gives you all the definition of that brand goes to you, it belongs to you. They can't just take it away and photocopy that. So it's like, use, and then signify the quality. Sometimes the brand equates the quality of certain product. Then create barriers to entry. Like when you have a certain brand, it stops others to just come in and use exactly the same concept or whatever, and call it the same thing perhaps. So it belongs to you. So it helps you, and then serves as a competitive advantage. Exactly the same. When you create a brand and people get to know it, they regard it as a competitive advantage. They think that it's only you, your company. When you say McDonald's, there's only one McDonald's in the world, and they know that what it is, and the customers know about it, and that has become pretty much their competitive advantage. And it will secure the price premium. We talked about the differentiation in the strategy class. So if you're going to charge your customers extra, one of the best reasons that make them believe so that they have to pay extra for your products is because of your brand name. And that's happening. Like many different brands like Zara and all different major famous brands, we are paying exactly much more, double or three times as much for a product that you can get it from other no brand companies, but you're just paying for the brand. The price you're paying is just for the brand. And here we have a good comment from Mr. Zarguna regarding the previous question, the trademark. He says that brand refers to the names, logos, and slogans, and trademark is something you can do to it. Sure, yeah. As I mentioned, trademark is just a mark, a sign. It's a part of your brand. So the brand is a general umbrella term that you use. Okay, so that's the role of the brand. Trademark and service mark, they're the same. In the United States, they call trademark mostly service mark. They are pretty much the same. Okay, branding. So branding is endowing products and services with the power of a brand. So when you do branding, you empower, you give power to a brand. So your products and services would be empowered by a brand. So that's a very powerful tool in today's marketing era. So what is brand equity? Brand equity is the differential effect that brand knowledge has on customers' response to the marketing of that brand. So the differential effect that the brand knowledge has on customer response is called brand equity. So knowing that it is your product and it's called that, it will have a certain response to it from the customers. So whenever Apple comes with a product and comes to the market, just knowing, just the knowledge of that product is the new product of the Apple, it draws a lot of customers to the shop. have them wait in lines to buy that product. So that's what we call brand equity. So just the idea of the brand of Apple makes customers respond in a certain way. So that's what we call brand equity. Then if you yeah, we have another some extra information here about trademarks. Mr. Zagun says, if you trademark a brand, then you own the intellectual property of the brand, and you are the only person allowed to use that brand. That's pretty much it. That's true. And as I said, the brand in itself also, you need to, you know, get the intellectual property and patent that brand. So it's pretty much the same. Just trademark is just the mark, the logo that you use, and the brand is the general idea of your, you know, your image and slogans and everything together will be your brand. Okay. Then brand associations. It could be strong, it could be unique, it could be favorable. So all these are different types of brands. Some brands like Levi's, they show like a strong, tough kind of person. Some brands like certain cars like Jaguar, they're unique. Some brands are favorable. Good example could be Apple products. So, you know, to each and every brand there is a certain association, meaning association. When we have marketing advantages of a strong brand. So the advantages of a strong brand is it improves the perceptions of product performance. Then it gives you greater loyalty. When you have a brand, it causes your customers to be loyal to you. It's less vulnerable to competition because you already have that brand and it's set. So your customers know about you, and if there is a competition, others would lose out because they have no chance of winning against a brand which is well established. Larger margins, you have, you know, larger margins of benefit coming to you, and then inelastic consumer response to price increases. So if there is an increase to the prices, that has been the case, then the customers would respond the same. So just an increase in the brand, in the price, because you have that brand established, does not stop the customers from coming to the shops and buying it. So it's really important to establish a brand because it helps you in all these different respects. Then elastic consumer response to price decreases. So you know if you decrease the price, customer will all come to you and buy because they know that your image is not decreased, it's just that you're giving them promotion. Because there are times when you're sort of a non-established brand, if there is a decrease in the price of your product, customers will think of it as a decrease in the value of your brand. But if you're an established brand and you decrease the prices, then the customers would not think of it as a decrease in the value of your image or product or the brand. They just think that they're giving them a promotion, and everybody will love to buy it with a lower brand. Then you will have greater trade cooperation. It will increase the effectiveness of your image and image of the company. and then licensing opportunities and brand extension opportunities. So all these are the factors that you will benefit from when you are, when you have a strong brand. So these are factors you could consider when you are dealing with a brand. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. Okay. So basically, we also need to consider what is a brand promising to us. There's a law versus your brand. There are a lot of laws and regulations for the brands. So when you are using a brand, you need to be careful, because you can't just use other brands' title and just call it yours. Sometimes some big corporations, they even trouble you if it's even similar to their names. Like McDonald's has a lot of companies that they use similar taglines like theirs. So it's really something important for you. So when they patent a brand, if you're coming up with a new brand, I mean, one of the first steps that you do is just choosing a brand name when you create a business. So yes, there are a lot of rules and regulations. So the brand promise is the vision for that brand, what it's going to bring to customers. You know, it's a promise for the future of the brand that you give to the customers. Okay. Then brand equity models, brand asset valuer, acre model, brand resonance. So all these different models of the brands help you to create and shape your brand. So basically what it is you evaluate your brand, what it is, because how to trade what it associates with. Okay. And then we have how do trademarks differ from patents. Basically, trademarks is just a logo. It's just that single tagline, like a stamp of the product they create. And patent is basically the legal right you get to something which is done by the court system, and the law gives you that advantage of having that over other brands. But your trademark is just that logo, that thing, and it might be associated with the right you have or the patent, but it's different. It's like something different that you get, and so it's not just exactly the same. And it's pretty much about how you get that. I mean, it's the patent is the process of getting that and finally getting that legal right to that brand. But trademark is just a logo. So, brand asset valuer, advertising agency. They created. There was an agency, Young and Rubicam, that they developed this model. So based on research with almost 500,000 customers in 44 countries. So they consider differentiation measures, energy measures, relevance measures, esteem and knowledge, and they created this model. So this is one of the models that they have, and then they sort of dig deep into the degree to which the different, the energy, what is the sense of the momentum that you get from the brand, and the relevance and the esteem that measures how well the brand is regarded and respected, and the knowledge, how familiar and intimate customers are with the brand. So all these factors are considered in the brand asset valuator and that model, and they follow that, and they sort of evaluate your brand. There's another model called brands, which is a marketing research consultant, Millward Brown. They developed a model for brand strengths, and the heart of which is brand dynamics pyramid. So basically, those of the customers that are at the top of the pyramid, they build a stronger relationships with the brand and spend more on it than those at the lower. So it's just like a pyramid, and as they go up, they sort of spend more, and as they go down, they spend less. So it's just the matter of the pyramid they have. They have the presence, relevance, performance, advantage, and bonding. So it's like the higher they go, the stronger the relationship gets with the brand. So first they have, do I know about it, is the presence. Then does it offer me something, is the relevance to your need. Can it deliver, is the performance. And then the advantage is where the competitive advantage comes in. And does it offer something better than the others? And then finally, no, this is I'm talking is just acre. I mean, this is I'm talking is brand, sorry, is the third. And then the acre is I'm going to explain later. And then the finally is bonding, which is nothing else beats it. Then the acre model is the former UC Berkeley marketing professor, Mr. Aker. He viewed brand equity as a brand awareness and brand loyalty and brand association that combine to add or to subtract from the value provided service. So basically, he came up with developing a brand identity. Means that you come up with a unique set of associations to a brand, and then later on, it's the extended identity elements. There are some extended elements to the identity that you propose to the customers, the texture and the guidance and everything, and then the brand essence, which is the communication of the brand identity in a compact and inspiring way. So in that concept, basically, he basically used a more of a intangible or conceptual terms. Like in the previous term, it was more of a like the levels of understanding and more levels of relationship. I mean, with the brands model, but with Aker model, it's more of a concept. First, you have the identity of the brand, then after that, you come up with some extended features or identity elements, and then your brand essence. And of course, we have core identity elements, and just extended elements. So one brand has a core, and then some elements, extended and core elements, and of course the brand identity is just the beginning of the creation of the brand. Then the final version is the brand resonance model. It is also viewing the brand as an ascending series of steps from bottom to top. So first step is ensuring identification of a brand with customers and the product. Then second step is establishing the totality of the brand meaning in the minds of customers. The third step is eliciting the proper customer responses or getting those proper responses. And number 4 and the last is converting brand response to create an intense and active loyalty relationship. So the first step was make sure that people will identify you by your brand within your industry or market. Second is establish a meaning sort of triggers in the mind of the customer, either tangible or intangible, then get responses because of your brand, and finally change that responses into an active loyalty between you and your customers. So that's the brand resonance. It's also like inclusive of steps, but more of a different types of steps. So it also could be considered as a pyramid. So you have the brand salience, how often the customers think of the brand, then the meaning, which is the performance and the image of the brand, and then the response, which the judgments and the feelings that are associated with your brand and the customer thinks of you. And then finally, the resonance is the relationship, so loyalty that happens at the end. So what are the drivers of the brand equity? What are those factors that make the customer think you're different and make them decide what they decided about you? So just to refresh your minds, brand equity was the differential effect that brand knowledge has on the customers. So here, what are those? I mean, related, the knowledge of the brand makes the customer choose you, right? So the brand elements, the marketing activities, and the meaning transference, all of these are certain knowledge and information given to customers and makes them make the choice that they need to make. To answer your question, Mrs. Argon, brand appeal, there are several different, ways to maximize the brand appeal. Like, as we said in the previous slides, a brand is the name, the term, the sign, the symbol, the design, combination of them, the meaning of them, identification of them, and all these are different aspects of a brand. So to make sure that it's more appealing, it should be a name that is desirable, favorable, which communicates what you want to communicate to the customers. So the term and the sign that you use, the color, the combination, the symbols that you use, all these, if you choose the right one, you will get the right brand. And for that, I will refer you to the most successful brands. Just look at the brands that are successful today. See what they have, and all those are the success stories. So I'm not saying that we need to copycat all those features and attributes of the brands. But what I'm saying is we need to basically see and learn from those brands that are successful and see what made them successful and how they became successful. So that's probably the answer that I could give to that question. Okay. So we discussed that, and then brand elements. So brand elements are the names, the slogans, the characters, the URLs, the logos, and the symbols. So all of these are factors that you can consider in creating a brand. So creating line of, all different types of products would be, with the colors, with their slogans and jingles and packages and signages and everything, it's for what it is. Okay. Then brand element choice criteria. So first, a brand should be memorable. means how easy it is for it to be recalled or recognized. If you see, slogans are like mottos or sayings about a brand, like, you know, like for a bank, like for Wells Fargo, which is a bank here, it says, "Together we'll go far." That's our slogan here. So means like what you say for that brand, you know, that's the slogan. So it should be memorable. It should be meaningful. Is the brand element credible or suggestive of a corresponding category? So what does it suggest? Does it have a meaning to it? Does it really, you know, triggers something in the mind of the customers? It should be likable. It should be appealing, what you said, like in your question, Mr. Zargon. A brand should be likable, so, or appealing. It should be transferable. It should be used to introduce new products in the same or different categories. So, as you can see, a brand should be able to entail as many products as possible. So, that's how when companies and organizations when they see that they can transfer products into the same brand, they come up with a new brand. That's how some organizations come up with couple different brands, because they understand that their previous brand would not be a suitable name for their new type of products. That's how they'll evolve and change their brands. Should be adaptable. So it should be adaptable with the different names and everything. And then it should be protectable, means legally protectable. So, you know, synonymous to product categories, like, so certain type of products that, or brands that they later on, they became the meaning of that type of product. Let's say Kleenex. Kleenex was a company first creating napkins and tissues. Now certain people, when they say I want Kleenex, they mean napkins and tissues. That's how strong the brand became. Or Xerox. Xerox is a company, but you say, please give me a Xerox of this paper, means I need a photocopy of this paper. Or, you know, fiberglass. Fiberglass was a company. Now it's the type of product, we call it fiberglass. So you see how strong your brand can become. Okay. So some slogans, back to your question, like some of them are famous, like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Just do it like Nike, nothing runs like deer. It's just around the corner, you see. Save 15 or more in 15 minutes or less. Geico, like the insurance company. We try harder, we'll pick you. Zoom Zoom, which is a Mazda. I'm loving it. You know, all these are different slogans that the companies will think of, and some of them are pretty famous nowadays because they have been very successful in, you know, sending the message across, and sometimes you associate that slogan with the product. So, you know, that's how it is. Measuring brand equity. So there are brand audits, brand tracking, and brand valuation. So what it is they evaluate and evaluate the brand. Yeah, like according to different countries and regions and neighborhoods, there are different slogans, you know. So like certain banks, they choose a different slogan, and so, you know, that's true. So the brand audits and brand tracking and brand valuation, what they do is they evaluate the brand and see what it is and how a brand is, how much the brand, you know, is valued. So interband versus the brand equity. So basically, we are talking about brand earnings, brand sales, cost of sales, marketing costs, overhead expenses, remuneration of capital charge and taxation, then brand expense, strength, leadership, stability, market, geographic spread, trends, support, and protection. So as you can see, all these are the factors in to evaluate the brand. So how much the brand will earn you, and how much does it give you sales, how much is the cost, how much is the marketing cost, what is the overhead expenses, the capital charge, I mean the charge that you pay over for that brand, and then taxation, how much tax you pay over that brand, and then the strength, the leadership, stability, all these factors come into play in the formula of evaluating the brand equity. So basically, it's pretty simple. What they do is just they calculate all these, and then they try to evaluate the brand. So it gives you the financial analysis, demand drivers, role of branding, and intangible earnings. All these gives you the brand earnings. So that will all contribute because they're not, because the leadership and stability and all these are possible to be in percentages, but on the other side we are dealing with money, so it's like it's not the percentage, but it's like the cost. So each of them has a certain number in front of them, like how much brand earnings you have, how much brand sales you have. So basically, it's not about percentage on the other side; it's more of numbers. But on the other side, we have those other stuff in percentage. Okay. So basically, we need to manage the brand equity all the time. So what it is we need to do the brand reinforcement. We should always do the reinforcement of the brand and reinforce and revitalize our brand all the time. Then also, sometimes brands will have crisis. So the crisis time is a time that your brand is struggling. So all through these steps, you have to be able to manage your brand properly so that your brand survives the struggles of time and be successful. So for devising a brand strategy, you need to first come up with developing new brand elements. So what are the elements that you want to create for your brand? Like, it reflects the number and nature of both common and distinctive brand elements. And then from that, you need to come up with what are your existing brand elements? What are the brand elements that you currently have? Sometimes you have to extend them, sometimes you have to sub-brand them, sometimes you have to parent brand them or family brand them. So all these are different ways for you to apply the elements to the brand and at the same time add some more. Then sometimes you need to use the old and new combination. So your sub brand would sort of be a combination of the old features or elements plus some new features. So that's the combination that you create. Okay, branding terms. So we have some branding terms like brand lines of all products. Then we have brand mix, which is the set of all brand lines. Then branded variants, which are specific brand lines supplied to specific retailers. Then licensed products, sub brands or subcategories of brands. Like Toyota Camry is part of the Toyota, like American Express Blue Cars is part of the American Express cars. Then we have parent brands, or the parent brand is already associated with multiple products, and through the brand extensions, it also will be called family brand. The line extensions is the parent brand covered a new product within a product category it's currently serving. Then category extension is the parent brand is used to enter a different product category from the one it currently serves. So it goes from one category to an extended categories. And then we have branded variants, like different type of variants of a certain product. We brand them sometimes. Then, as I said, licensed products are those we license, and when they get licensed to other manufacturers, they can also make the product. So you license a company to also make that product. Then sometimes you do the brand dilution, means you dissolve a brand and mix it with another one. And sometimes you have brand portfolio, which is the portfolio of your brand, and it sort of gives you the definitions, all those associations with the brand, and that's how you go to the next levels. So these are different terms dealing with brands. So then when we are doing the brand naming, we have individual names, like sometimes certain names of a certain people would be used to make a brand. Or blanket family firms, or many firms such as Heinz and General Electric use their corporate brand across their range of products. So their corporate brand would be used all across their products. So this also refers to the question you had previously when we were talking about what is the difference between the company's name and the brand name. Sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's not. As you can see in blanket family names, it is the same, but individual names, it's not the same. Separate family names is when Sears uses separate family names such as Kenmore for appliances, Craftsman for tools, so a certain family name for a certain product. So that's how you see there are several brands in the same company. Then corporate name combined with individual product names like K-Log combines corporate and individual names like K-Log's Rice Krispies or K-Log's Raisin Bran. So you see they mix all these together sometimes. And for sub-brand is when you have a subcategory, is an extension to the previous category. So you use a new brand with the previous brand name together. Like Toyota Camry, you know, I mentioned that. So brand roles in a brand portfolio. So As I said, brand portfolio is the set of all brands and brand lines in a particular firm offers in sale. So we have flankers or filter brands are positioned with respect to the competitors. So flankers are always those that are targeting the competitors and try to sort of, bring them down or win them over. Cash cows or some brands may be kept around despite dwindling sales because they still manage to hold on enough customers. So they bring money. So the lower entry level is a relative low price brands in the portfolio often maybe attract customers to the brand franchise. They build traffic. The traffic of the business comes in and they buy those. High-end prestige are those that are high priced and they have a very high credibility, and it lures curious customers into showrooms and at the same time help to improve the image of the company. So that is also another type of brand. So is there any questions so far for this chapter? Any comments, questions? Anybody wants any extra? Cash cows. Cash cows, as I said, are those that are they're like bringing the money to the company. Those are brands that bring customers and lines to the retail shops. So it's like they capitalize all those chances they have over those products that are not necessarily the best quality ones. They are not necessarily the most prestigious ones, but they are those that the customers will stand in line and buy the product because that's like the very common or popular product. So, and they call it cash outs. So let's say for Apple, it's not necessarily the Apple is not just the best product of Apple is the cash cows. Like basically the Apple MacBook, which is the medium level product, is one of their cash cows. Not necessarily MacBook Air, just the MacBook Pro. So that's what it is. So, and high-end prestiges are those high-end products, those that are very, very prestigious and high-class products. Not every customer will be able to buy that, but it will give you the image. It will give the company the image, and the customer will buy into that idea. Okay. So let's go to the next chapter. So now that we talked about the branding, we are talking about how to position the brand. So when we bring our brand into place, now we want to see how we can position our brand in the market. So how can a firm choose and communicate an effective positioning in the market? How are brands differentiable? What marketing strategies are appropriate for at each stage of the product life cycle? And what are the implications of marketing evolution for marketing strategies? So these are some of the questions that we're going to answer in this chapter. Okay. First, we need to know segmentation, targeting, and positioning. As I said, first we segment the whole market. We have the whole market in front of us, before us. So we segment it into different categories and subcategories. Then we target some of those segments. We say, okay, this age group, this type of market we want to go. And then when we go there, we need to position ourselves in that certain targeted market. So that's how we do the marketing strategy. So what is basically positioning? Is the act of designing the company's offering and image to occupy a distinctive place in the mind of the market, of the target market. So basically, positioning is the act of designing the company's offering. You design the offering of the company and their image, and then you occupy a distinctive place in the mind of target market. So as I said, you choose the segment and the target market, and then after that, you offer an image to occupy a distinctive place in the mind of the target market. So it's basically the image you're creating when we are talking about brand positioning, the image that you create in the minds of the customers that you stand in that part of the market in that segment, in that target segment. So then again, we are talking about the value proposition. We are proposing a value to the customers, and we basically like this company, Purdue Chicken, is more tender growler chicken at a moderate premium price. Or Domino's is a pizza company. A good hot pizza delivered to your door within 30 minutes of ordering at a moderate price. The brand defense, Dr. Park, is the gist, the idea of the brand. Then you extend and add other core or extended features. But the brand essence is what basically your brand means and what you generally are about. The idea of your brand, like what basically defines what you do is your brand essence. The whole concept of your brand or your products is designed and pictured around that essence. So whatever extension that you add is just addition to that essence. So that's probably what I would answer that question. So you see all these different brands, they have value proposition. Like the Domino, it's like less than 30 minutes. They give you a free pizza if they're late. If the 30 minutes become 31 minutes, you get a free pizza for the next time. That's the way to do business. Or Purdue Chicken is like the tender and the moderate price. So they're not high-end products. So what I'm saying is like there are samples of value proposition. So then how to write a positioning statement. So Mountain Dew is to young, active soft drink consumers who have little time for sleep. Mountain Dew is a soft drink that gives you more energy than any other brand because it has the highest level of caffeine. So as you can see, it tells you I don't exactly understand what you mean by what positioning requires. You mean in what regard what it requires? What it requires to what? So Mountain Dew, the writing statement of, positioning statement of the Mountain Dew is they're just writing, first they're telling you the targeted market. Who is it? The young people. Active soft drink consumers. They have little time. So they're positioning themselves in the mind. If you're young, if you're active, you want to drink and you don't have time, you just grab a drink, a Mountain Dew, and it gives you energy and it gives you caffeine. That's how they position themselves. So if you're this type of customer, that's what you get, and you know where to get it, and what is it called? It's Mountain Dew. So that's how you position yourself. You first understand and figure out what exactly you are and you're providing and who is your targeted market and in what segment, and then you position yourself. As you can see, they have positioned the mind of the customers in a certain young group, which is the segment, and they are, even within those young groups, those that don't have time, they just need a caffeine drink and just boost up their energy. Okay. So defining associations. So point of differences and point of parity. Point of differences is basic attributes or benefits consumers are strongly associated with the brand. positively evaluate and believe that they could not find those same aspects in others. Uh, so they might be based on virtually any type of tribute or benefit, like the Apple is for Apple is design, Nike is performance, Lexus is quality, all these. Then points of parity are associations that are not necessarily unique to the brand, but may be shared with other brands. So those are the common factors. So there are a lot of points of parity, like a lot of similar aspects of a company or product or brand. They might be the same. They are necessary but not sufficient. So they just meet the criteria. They meet the needs of the customer, but that's not enough for a customer to make the decision. Yeah, a point of parity is very simple, like a drink. Like a soda drink, it has to be carbonated, it has to be sugared, it has to be, nice and, served cold. So this is the same for all soda drinks. But what makes soda drinks different is how they differentiate themselves. Like that case of honeydew, that's for young people. They want caffeine in it. They want it to like drink and get energy. So that's probably different. Okay. Very good. Then you have to convey the category membership. Then you have to belong to a category. It can be a special problem for some high-tech products when corporations so basically what it is it's all about how you become a member in a category. So announce the benefits, compare to exemplars, and relying on the product descriptor. So all these are different factors that come into play when you're becoming a member of a category. So first you announce and tell the customers what are the benefits that you provide, and then you compare your benefits to other companies that are in the same category and they are doing that. And also you also describe your product pretty well that the customers will get and back some understanding of the product that you're offering and how it's going to help them to get what they want and their desires and needs and wants. Okay. So let's go to the next slide. So consumer desirability criteria for point of difference. What are the point of difference that they desire? First, it should be relevant. It should be relevant to their needs, what they really need. What they really need, and it should be relevant to that. I have Mr. Sharaf has a very nice comment down there. Positioning results in the image you want to draw in the mind of your customers. The picture you want him or her visualize of you, what you offer in relationship to the market situation and any competition you may have. Very good explanation. So then it should also be distinctive. It should be distinctive from the other similar products that are there because it's supposed to be a point of difference, so it should be something different. What does it have that makes it different from the other type? And it should be believable. When I say something is not believable, it's not helping. It's not what customer wants. Customer wants something that is believable, that is possible, not just anything, something that could be done and could be believed. So that's what customer is looking for. Okay, so we go to the next slide. Then it should be feasible, means the product marketing must support the desired association. Does communicating the desired association require real changes to the product itself? So that's also something you need to consider. Other than being believable, it should also be achievable. It should be it should support the desired association, which is there. It should be sustainable and communicatable. So communicatability is that they should be given a compelling reason and understandable rationale as to why the brand can deliver the desired benefit. It's like they should be able, the brand or you should be able to communicate the reason or the rationale of the brand and what it does and why it does it and how it does it. And it should be sustainable. Means that it should be sufficiently committed and willing to devote enough resources to create an enduring position. So that's the role of a firm. The firm or the company should be committed to do that, and it should be consistent, and they should continue doing that. Yeah, feasibility means possibility. Possibility means that the association of meaning should be possible. What you're associating with your brand should be achievable. Viability. Yeah. So there are examples of negatively correlated attributes and benefits. So when we have low price and high quality, they're against each other, you see. So taste versus low calories, nutritious versus good tasting, efficacious versus mild, powerful versus safe, strong versus refined, ubiquitous versus exclusive, and varied versus simple, you know. So these are the attributes when you give to your brand. You got to be careful because the opposite of that could be also something you might have in mind. So if it's not what you want the customer to think of your product, you got to be careful, you know. So when you say low price, customer will automatically be thinking as your product as is something low quality. So you need to be careful. You need to be careful if you're using any of these, be able to associate the right meaning, not necessarily the meaning that is a general understanding. Ubiquitous is widespread. So widespread versus exclusive. So widespread means it's everywhere. And so as you can see, a lot of them are just you know, the common understanding, but not necessarily when you use them in your company, you want the same meaning to be conveyed. So you got to be careful about that. So if you want to address those negatively correlated meanings, you present them separately. You make sure that you present them in a separate way so that you can explain and, you know, make sure that the customer understands what you basically mean. Then leveraging equity to another equity. Sometimes you need to transfer or transform one brand equity into another. So you need to be able to do that, and or redefine the relationship. Sometimes you need to redefine the relationship between the meaning or the brand that you are proposing, and then by your definition, you may help the customer understand what you exactly mean. So sometimes you say, we are providing, let's say, reasonable cost, but by that we mean we give you the best quality, blah, blah, and that helps you to save money. So you define what you exactly mean when you say I'm a low cost, because it's different. And after some time, you will be able to set some basic understanding of what you mean, and people will understand you, and they don't take you as just a cheap product which is a low quality. So that's something you need to set and explain to the customers. After some time, you will be able to move on, and customer will get what you want. Then differentiation strategies. It could be your product, your personal, your channel, or your image, all of them also. So basically, how you differentiate your strategy is sometimes just companies can have better trained employees. I mean, some companies have better employees, that's what they are. Some companies can have more effectively or efficiently design their distribution channel, you know. So that's what they're good at. So then they have image differentiation. Companies can craft powerful, compelling images. And primary information of Marlboro cigarettes, they are famous for that. So all of these are different types of, or some of our product. I mean, their product is better. They're good at the product. Okay. Okay, product differentiation. It could be the product form, features, performance, conformance, durability, reliability, repairability, style, design, ordering ease, delivery, installation, customer training, customer consulting, maintenance. These are pretty self-explanatory. It's just how you differentiate your product, all these different ways of differentiating your product. You can use them all, just some of them, to make your product different from the current or common or popular products in the market. So it's just a matter of how you look at your product and how you're presenting your product differently. And these are some of the ways that you can tell, hey, customer, Mr. Customer, this is why my product is different. Then we have identity and image. Identity is the way the company aims to identify, position itself, and the image is the way public perceives. So there's always a difference between the identity, what you really aim to be, and your image, what the customers think of you. So your goal is to marry them together and bring them as close as possible together. You want to make sure the customer thinks exactly what you want them to think about you. You want them to exactly understand what you want to communicate from a certain brand that you're promoting. So that's the deal with the branding and positioning. So I don't want to go any further here because product life cycle is very important. I want to explain it separately in another session because I don't want to confuse you with so many information. So just we'll leave you that here, and we take care of product life cycle in the next session because I want you to understand it. It's one of the most important concepts in marketing. So let's do a task together. Okay, to do a task together, let us okay, what I want you to do is to write a positioning statement for your company or an imaginative company. So your task is write a positioning statement for your company for an imaginative company. Okay? So please take a moment, just look at this example. Could be any product or service that you're doing. Just give me an example of how you position your brand. And I'll welcome you to share it with the classmates. You can raise your hand and then say it out loud, or just type it down in the chat box, and we will go from there. No, Nokia connecting people is the slogan. I don't want you to write a slogan. I am showing you a sample of a positioning statement. So see, it says to young people. Tell them in your positioning statement, you mention your targeted segment, then you say what is your product and how it's going to give whatever benefit to the customers. So it's connecting people is just it's just a slogan of the Nokia. I don't need any slogans. I need a positioning statement, and I want you to write it down. So don't find companies positioning statement and write it down. I want you to write down for a product of a company that you think is the right positioning statement. Or I'd rather it be from your own company. But if you don't want to do that for any reason, you can just pick a product from a company and you yourself write that positioning statement for me. So it's something you write. It's not that you take it from somewhere. So just your writing, please. Thank you. Okay, we have a very good example from Mr. Barak, the tablet product gives you immediate relief in few minutes from headache. But it's good, but you would explain more with first, who is your target market? So who's the you, you know? As I said, you need to position yourself in the market. So that's you have the product definition there, but you don't have the who's the you, and then you have it because it's the most famous and for headache. That's good, but mention the you part. Okay, some more examples. Anybody else wants to share? Okay, Mr. Wafar, do you want to read it out to us?
Yes, thank you very much. That is a simple positioning statement of a legal organization or agency who provides legal assistance to refugees who are returning to their country after the war is finished. I have written, as you see, if you have problems acquiring back your lands and properties that you lost during war or they were occupied by warlords, NCR, the name of the NGO, is here to assist you with the proper legal aid and support to restitute your properties and grant your rights endowed or enshrined in the Constitution. I don't know how much correct is this positioning statement.
Very good. It's a very good statement. You have your addressees, who is it, and then your name of company, and also what you do. It's very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay. Anybody else wants to share some? Like Ms. Masuda, would you like to share yours? Oh yes, Ms. Masuda. Okay, I thought maybe you want to read it out to the class. So yours is to all type of people. To all type of people, it just gives you more energy and fresh and makes you strong and keeps you younger at any age. Okay, apple juice. Okay, good. Okay, and Mr. Tiasi. Okay, there's Mr. Tiasi. Okay, let's see. The first taste is in town in its kind. Strawberries, flavored ice cream for everyone, men and women. Okay, sure. Yours is more of a, Mr. Diassi, yours is more of a marketing or promotional one. What you're trying to do here is to position yourself in that market. Okay, what type of product it is compared to general type of pineapple or different type of ice creams that are already in the market. So what do you do? What do you offer? So it's more of you are positioning yourself in that market. Oh, there was none before. It is the first. Okay, but there are so more. Or maybe in that. I mean, what I'm saying is, even if there is not any in the market, you need to exactly and specifically mention where in the market you are going to be. Look at this one on the screen. You have two young people, so you have your addressee, but then you could explain more about the product then, if there is not any okay, if not in that part of the world, you could compare to others in the other sides. And then you could just explain more about the product, a bit more, so that customers know where to put it in the market, compare like, is it yogurt, is it ice cream, what is it exactly, you know what I mean? So that is called position. And then we had one more. Mr. Sheriff is positioning Stimson. Okay, yours is more of a organizations want their customers. Yes, your comment is correct. You didn't share your example, but your comment is basically definitely correct. So it's a very good example. So it's been a very productive sharing here. Thank you. You got the idea. It's very important. The positioning is very important, and that helps us a lot in marketing and how to reach out to customers and help them to understand us. So if there is no question or comments, we can finish the class here. So we finished all the way up to product lifecycle, which is also another important aspect and concept in the class. But okay, I see you have a question. Please go ahead. I don't see your microphone, but you can write it down your question if you have a question. You have a question, Mr. Diassi? Okay. So, yeah, actually about the end of this. Oh yes, yeah, I did talk about it in the previous class. So, what is your question? Please go ahead. It's not too broad. What you're supposed to do in your marketing. Okay. We are dealing with all these different concepts in the business strategy and marketing. Sure, no problem. In your business strategy and marketing class, we are dealing with all different aspects of the business strategy model or plan and marketing plan. So what I ask you to do is to write a marketing plan and a strategy plan for your company. So I divided you into groups so that you can work together, discuss together. I want you to cover most of all these important aspects I mentioned in the class and I talked about. So you would come up with a marketing or business strategy plan. So you basically by now know what exactly is in a business plan or business strategy or marketing plan. So you just take the concepts and put it into action with the product or the company that you choose. It will tell you what exactly you need to do. That's for your group project. For your individual, no, smaller. I want you to be in groups of 5 so that you can work together. You can divide. Each of you can take out one part and then you combine them together. You have a team leader so that they can just, organize and make it ready for the presentation. So at the last session, after the session after last, you'll be presenting them, and it's not far from now. It's only 4 weeks from now. You are going to present those. So it's I really urge you to take it seriously. That's the way I will score you and give you your final score. That's one of the major scores that you get. Other than these tasks that you give and your individual, which is an executive summary of the whole semester and how you're going to apply it into your career, that is also very important. That is also a big chunk size of the score that you get. I really urge you to take them seriously because that's the way I'm going to score you, and I will really look at those, and those are very important. So that's true. I'm in California and you're over there, and we are talking to each other. So being in different provinces, offices, it's not an excuse. We are connected to email, video conferencing together, so it's definitely out of question. So I really ask you to please take that serious. It will help us to practice whatever we learned in our class. So please, by all means, work together, and we will be able to learn a lot from there. So what if tell me, as I mentioned, we have this letter that you need to sign. No, write me down. Write me the letter. You have a group leader, right? So the group leader, you need, each and every one of you needs to sign for the work and group work together. If one of you don't sign, all of you agree and sign, give me a letter, and that team member will not get any credit for it. So for sure, if you have a group of 5, if one of you doesn't show up, let me know what is his or her name. So, and all of you, if you agree, then that team member will not get any score. So every one of you should work together. It's just a matter of teamwork, and wherever you go, there will be such a case. So even in like classes that are actually in the classes, it's exactly the same concept. So just keep working on it. If one of you doesn't show up, take his or her chunk and divide it within the 4 of you. So just do whatever it takes and finish that project, because that's the project that you will be scored on. So I really, yeah, that's right. Don't stop. Okay, thank you, Mr. Vilasi. So never stop, keep on working on it. I'm sure you'll do a great job. So just don't get discouraged. It's the teamwork, it's difficult, but that's where we learn from the challenges. So we have a month from now to deliver that project. So take it serious, and I'm sure we will learn from it. It's not broad, it's just a business plan, a strategy business and marketing plan. And for your individuals, it's like your executive summary, how you're going to apply the marketing and the strategy class to your career. And as I asked you, it should be very specific to your career and how you're going to apply, even if one concept of what you do. Oh no, time extension. If you remember the time. I would rather if it's in your organization, but as I said, if you can't, for your executive summary, only for your organization. But for the group project, it could be an imaginative company. It doesn't matter. But I rather if it's from your corporation. And for the time extension, I have already given you a week of extension. That's not possible because we need to give the scores back to the admin, and it's definitely out of the question. If you remember, our first deadline was the last session, which was 3 weeks from now. But I extended another week for you, so it's now 4 weeks. So it's not possible, and it's definitely doable within the time that we have. And then keep talking to each other and continue, emailing and keeping in contact with each other, and make sure that you will get it done. So don't hesitate to contact me. The deadline is 4 sessions from now. I mean, 3 more sessions we have lectures, and the session number 4 from now is the session that you submit your assignments and also present it. So all the 5 groups are gonna, I'm gonna give you about 10 to 15 minutes to present your work. You use PowerPoint and you present it to me. Yep. So 3 more weeks we have sessions that I will lecture. Session number 4 from now is the session that you submitted to me, and then you also present it to me. The individual you don't present, you just submit it to me, but it's on the same day. The individual is just a write-up, you just submit it to me, no PowerPoint. For the group one, you have a PowerPoint and a write-up. I have given you the details, I have emailed you. The admin has it on the website, what is the detail of the group project, and so you just follow the guidelines. For the group project, no. For the group project, I want you to be presenting it as a group. So you can divide, like you can choose one single presenter if you want. Let's say only the team leader can present, or if you want, you can say all of us you will want to present, and we present like the 15 minutes, each of you 3 minutes. But it's up to you. But I need a presenter for the group, or like 5 of you can present. Any more questions about the assignment? Beautiful. Thank you so much to you all. Have a wonderful week, and look forward to your great assignments and work together. I'm sure you're going to do a great job. Don't worry about it. It's definitely doable, and it's just the beginning of a very exciting, journey with all these skills that we are equipping ourselves with, and I'm sure you'll do great. So you have a wonderful week, and see you next week. Thank you.